Hey guys, it's your girl Brittany Green and welcome back to my channel for the second video of today. I went ahead and took the previous video down because yes, your girl made a mistake. Even though I cross-referenced 3 times, your girl made a mistake. But if it's one thing about Brittany that you guys should know is that whenever I make a mistake, I always make sure to do my best and come back to fix it right away, which is why I have great customer service, because the goal is to always make sure that even in your human error, you own it, you come back with the proper information, and you take care of the people. So for those who are tuning in that are vets to my either YouTube or my IG channels, hey y'all. And for those of you who are joining me for the first time, my name is Brittany Green and I am the CEO and founder of Crown Financials, where I educate my students on how to increase their credit score anywhere from 50 to 300 points without having to hire a credit repair company. So, like I said, y'all, I cross-referenced 3 times. However, when news is super fresh, sometimes there can be error. So that's okay, that's all right. But like I said, we're gonna fix that right now. So it just changes up the numbers a little bit. So we're gonna provide some extra education in the meantime. So it is only personal lines of credit. So thank you to those who reached out. It is only personal lines of credit. So if you have a Wells Fargo credit card, you are safe for now and hopefully forever. Hopefully they don't turn those around, right? But if you have a personal line of credit with Wells Fargo, then those are the accounts that will be closing. So it changes up the numbers just a little bit, so we're going to hop back into that as well. Now, when it comes to personal lines of credit, just a little bit of general education from that, it is typically similar to a loan, but in a sense of a credit, meaning you take out this, they provide you with this amount. Say, for example, $3,000, right? They say, hey, we're going to give you $3,000 that you can pull from, and you're only charged interest on what you use. So, you know, with the loan, when they give you a loan, hey, you use that amount that they give you, and they immediately start charging that interest unless you have like a pushback where it's like, oh, 6 months, 0% interest, or a year, 0% interest, right? If it's, a regular loan, they're going to start charging right away. But with a line of credit, it works in that area of, or it falls into that sector of revolving credit where, whatever you use is what you're charged interest on. So that is the difference. However, it does not affect your utilization. I think it was only one time that I saw their personal line of credit end up in their utilization section, but that was not something that I've seen very often. So that number, out the water. So we good. So if you have, again, a Wells Fargo credit card, you're safe for now. Now for those of you, and it's mainly the folks that myself that I tend to see right before Denzel, my partner for Velocity Banking, sees them, they use the line of credit to do Velocity Banking. So for those, that may affect you. So if so, here are the numbers of which it will affect you. All right. So payment history, which again is 35% of your score. All right. Now, it also will affect your length of credit history. And then lastly, the length of credit history is 15%. And then lastly, your credit mix, because of course they go by revolving, which is credit cards, lines of credit, and different things of that nature, right? When it comes down to installments, those are loans. So it may affect your credit mix depending on all the different type of accounts that you have. Okay, meaning if you only have your loans and your line of credit, you don't have any credit cards, right? When that line of credit closes out, you're only going to have installment type of accounts. So then you're going to want to rebalance. So I hope that part makes sense. So again, to make sure that we are clear, yes, your girl made a mistake, and that's okay because I'm back to correct it, and here we are right now. Okay, so let's pull out the calculator so we could see what numbers might be affected, right? 35 plus 15 plus 10, that leaves, 60%. Wow, I typed it out immediately. So that's about, instead of up to 90%, it'll be only up to 60% now, and that will be in those three categories, okay? Now, if you still have a remaining balance with your line of credit, you still want to reach out to Wells Fargo and see how that's going to report moving forward. Meaning, once they close it, if you still have a balance, is there a time frame that you have to pay it off before they send it to collections, or are they just going to wipe it out? Right? These are important questions. Or are they going to report it as a closed account with a balance? Right? We want to start asking those questions to Wells Fargo. So you definitely still want to ask those questions. But here is the good thing. Because it is not affected by your utilization, then you can actually leverage your, credit cards to overpower the tiny tug that will happen not even if, but when they close that account. All right? So again, and if they close that account with a balance, you want to make sure that you settle that and pay that as soon as you can, so that it does not end up going to collections if it, tends to just fade away and not be paid. All right. So I hope that this was helpful. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Thank you guys that reached out to me and let me know, hey, wait a minute, the sources that you got was wrong. You wrong, Britt. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. So again, those three areas that it will affect as it closes is payment history, which it shouldn't take too much tug of from your payment history, because again, you've had positive payment history. As long as you've had nothing but positive payment history, you'll of course remain in good standing there. But as it goes on to, as far as your length of credit history, that's going to, of course, be adjusted. And then depending on what types of accounts you have, that's going to be adjusted by your credit mix as well. So again, we can do a free review just to see what it is on your file that needs to, how we can create a balance. Because if that's one thing that we do, is create a balance so that you can have the great foundation from a file perspective, and that score is automatically going to come automatically and organically. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. Thank you guys so much for correcting me, and let's roll with it and see what happens next. Bye y'all.